Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Oliphant. I'm the new Head of Technology and Enterprise at St John's Grammar. Just putting this video together for you just to help you learn and understand a little bit more about the technology and enterprise subject area and in particular design and technology innovation. So thank you for joining and we'll go through some of the details. Okay, there are three main streams within technology and enterprise. As mentioned, there's a design and technology innovation, which we'll be talking about in this video. But you can also find videos for food technology and business and innovation, which all fit under the umbrella of technology and enterprise. As you can see, there are a number of pathways that you can take as a student at St John's from year 7 all the way through to year 12. The main streams that we have, I guess, is within the design and technology innovation stream is digital futures, material solutions, and industrial design. A lot of those come all the way through from the early years. So you can see digital futures is a subject that you can take through from year 7 to year 12. Material solutions you can take all the way through from year 7 to year 12. And you've got industrial design there from year 8, 9 and 10, which I guess is a bit more of a specialist area in a sense. It kind of combines some of the knowledge that you'll develop within digital futures and material solutions. And once you kind of get to a year 10 level, if you want to continue learning around about industrial design and product design, you can go into back into the sort of materials solutions stream at year 11 and 12. So these is an overview of the pathways that you can take. They all complement each other, and you'll find that a lot of the content and a lot of the language that we use across each of these three subject areas will be very similar. There's more detail on digital futures, material solutions, and industrial design within the subject guide. So I do encourage you to read through those in a little bit more detail as well. So as mentioned, the focus for this video or this information video is around design and technology innovation. What sort of skills are you going to develop within these technology and enterprise subjects? I do believe that they will develop some really valuable skills that you'll be able to transfer later in life and also transfer into some other subject areas as well. But some of the key skills that you will develop if you are to study, design and technology innovation, creative thinking skills, critical thinking skills, design thinking is a really important one that covers a lot of our subjects, problem solving, practical skills, collaboration and teamwork, working independently and also as part of the team. Preparing yourself for the future through exposure to new technologies and new ways of doing things. Developing an inventor mindset, so identifying problems and coming up with solutions. Exploring innovation and developing an entrepreneurial mindset, so starting to think about others and designing and thinking about others as well. As mentioned, design thinking is an important part of technology and enterprise subjects. You will find across food technology, business and enterprise, and design and technology innovation, you will hear your teachers talk a lot about design thinking. So what is design thinking? It is a process that we use when trying to identify solutions to problems. So there's a few key streams here you can see. So understanding the problem, reflecting on the problem, ideate, so coming up with some concepts, drawing some sketches, discussing some ideas with your peers and with your teacher, reflecting on those ideas. So I guess doing some analysis and reflecting on the process, analysing your concepts, getting some feedback on those ideas, and see whether they're feasible concepts and whether they can be taken to market, whether they can be produced. And then there's a stage there of modelling. So that is the practical component or the programming component. Or it might be driving some robots or drones around. So that is the practical output of the project. And then at the end, there is a testing and evaluation type component as well. So it is always good to look back at the work you have done and see how well your solution has met the design brief. But design thinking is a core component of the course. So what sort of things will you learn under the three subject streams within DTI? So materials solutions is your metalwork and woodwork. So metalwork will be a little bit more involved for the first time with our new technology centre, but also using woodwork as well. So using a whole range of materials in those two categories. Digital Futures is focused a little bit more around robotics, game development, graphic design, drones, data analytics, learning about things like artificial intelligence and Web3 as well. Industrial design is about product design. So this is a little bit more about designing products and using things like 3D printers, CNC machines, laser cutters, CNC water jet cutters, all of these really new, exciting and emerging technologies to design products, and quite a heavy CAD focus as well. So what are some of the sorts of products you will do under those three streams? So here is some examples of material solutions. So using, hardwoods and softwoods. So pines and jarrah, for example, design furniture, board game type products. That shows it, I guess, a few examples of different size of products and detail that you use in those, and quite often very student driven. So these are some examples, but very often we'll give you a design brief and there'll be freedom for you to design within that. The other examples there are looking at some metalwork products as well. So learning how to weld, also learning how to use CNC machines to create products as well. The second example here is looking at some examples for digital futures. So digital futures is very much about learning about the future in a digital sense. So things like robotics and drones, how can we use those to, I guess, solve problems? Then also looking at a range of software that you use as well. So exposure to Python, Unity, GameMaker Studio, and also the Adobe Creative Suite to come up with creative solutions. For example, graphic design and also game design. The last example here is the industrial design. So industrial design, as mentioned previously, is product design. So having access to a lot of range of new and emerging CAD and CAM technologies, so 3D printing, laser cutting, and so forth. So the examples you see here, torch designs, golf putters, and things like that. So a bit more freedom in terms of the type of product you can design, because you don't have some of the limitations that you might have in wood or metalwork. So a lot more CAD heavy, this particular course, and also includes things like electronics as well. Okay, so how are the courses structured from an assessment point of view from year 7 through to year 12? So what you'll find is from years 7 to 10, it's broken down into two main areas. One is knowledge and understanding tasks, which is generally around 30% of the course. And that is, research, investigations, issues investigations, and so forth. The other component of the course is your process and production skills. So that's generally around 70% of the course. So that'll be skills and application tasks. So you might be learning how to use certain equipment and tools. There'll be a major design project, quite often 2 or 3 of these over a semester, and supporting folio that will go along with that work as well, which links back to the design thinking we were talking about a little bit earlier. In year 11, in stage one, again, you got your two core areas. So one is a resource study, which is 1,000-word issues investigation on a topic relevant to the major project. Then you also have your process and production skills, generally 1 or 2 skills and application tasks. So developing a skill related to the major project. So that could be something like learning a new programming language. It could be a new hand skill, some CAD skills, or maybe learning to use a 3D printer for the first time. There's generally one major project in year 11 that runs over a semester, and a design folio that supports that process as well. At year 12, stage 2, it's obviously a year-long course and broken down into the two areas. So you have your resource study, which is a 30% externally assessed component, with a 2,000 word limit. So that's broken down into two areas. One is a materials investigation, so it's doing some research around materials that you'll use for your major project. And the other one is an issues investigation, which is issues related to your major project. So an example of that might be the impacts of gaming on mental health. So you were doing issues investigation, researching that, and putting that as part of your resource study. So the other component is the 70% processes and production skills. So there will be at least two skills tasks as part of the assessment, and those skills tasks need to be related to your product. So they might be a joining technique in metalwork, or maybe a welding technique for a metalwork component. Or it could be learning some new CNC skills, for example. Then you would have one major project that will run over the full year. So you can imagine the sort of complexity that goes into that, but it is a great opportunity to really put ideas into reality for those students wanting to study the course. And then again, supported with a design folio that basically supports each step of the design process. So the investigating, the designing, the planning, creating, and then the evaluating at the end. It's also important to talk about the pathways and opportunities that the courses that you study as part of technology and enterprise will open up. Uh, so if you're considering these sort of pathways, engineering, architecture, industrial design, STEM-related pathways, the pathways related to science, technology, engineering, and maths, computer science, software engineering, game design and development, graphic design, animation and construction, just to name a few. These courses will really develop some of the skills that will be useful for those sort of areas, and not necessarily limited to them as well. A lot of these skills can be transferable to other subject areas. Thank you for listening. So hopefully that's provided you with the information you need. I'm always open and welcome for a chat. So I've got my email address there if you have any questions. Otherwise, feel free to grab me in the yard for a conversation around some of your subject choices for next year. Thank you.